So after that is the second day is very important, which is here, is the brother and sister special day, where the sister invites the brother to her house for food. And she, if he's a small boy, she'll give him a bath. Even if he's a big boy, he sits with all his clothes on and she puts water on him and puts something very fragrant things on his body and gives him a bath nicely and gives him a protection. It's the purity of relationship between a sister and a brother. And then the brother gives her something as a present at that time. He may give anything. It's just symbolic. It's the love and affection of a brother and sister is expressed at that time. It's very important. And then the sister, she actually gives him a bandhan with actual light, which is called as the arti they do for the brother. And that's how they try to give a big protection to them. So this is the day of the, they call it in Marathi Bhaubij or Bhaiduj, or that is the Dvitiya, the second day of the month. That starts in India. Now it has a significance because it is very important that our relationship as a brother and a sister must be strengthened, must be purified, must be looked after. In India, even if somebody calls you a sister or a brother, then he's a sister and a brother. It's a very difficult situation. If somebody calls you a sister, then you have to accept that situation. And if you accept that situation all your life, you have to carry on that relationship of that nobility. Whether he may be your brother or not, doesn't matter. He may be your sister, she may be your sister or not, does not matter. But once you have said she's your sister, then all that purity is there, all her chastity is to be protected, and she's to be looked after. Now, the last day is very important. It's a very universal day, I should say, called as Bhaiduj. It's the, or they call it also in Marathi Bhaubij in different names. It's the brothers and sisters day. Now, the brothers and sisters relationship has to be very, very strong. And the purity of that relationship is to be maintained. It is not necessary that you should be born as brothers and sisters. Not necessary. But you are born, because if you are realized souls, you are born as brothers and sisters. So that purity must be maintained in the society of Sahaja. Very important. That we should try to develop this situation that brothers and sisters are something very pure. Their relationships are very pure. And they should not be at all challenged. It is so much so that even if you call somebody your brother, he is your brother. And the more you develop this relationship, the better your left Vishuddhi will be. Because left Vishuddhi is the relationship with God as a brother or with the goddess as a sister. So, Sri Krishna's sister, as you know, was born to Nand. And Sri Krishna was himself born in a prison. So there was an exchange that took place. They had to replace her in his place. And then when Kamsa, the uncle of Krishna, tried to kill that girl, she went into the sky and like a lightning she said that your killer is still living in Gokul. He's still there. So this lightning that we see is representative of that power which we call as Vishnu Maya, with the sisters. If your sisterly feelings towards women are good and strong, your left Vishuddhi will be very good. It has many other qualities. For example, a person who has a very good left Vishuddhi is a very confident person. Not only that, but whatever he says comes out true. Even by mistake he says something, it comes true. It's a very powerful center, left Vishuddhi is. Such a person, whenever he'll speak, to say criticize something, or to cut down something, or to be against something, then it has the power to crush all that he doesn't want. See, like, you can say, Christ, his left Vishuddhi is expressed through his relationship with Mary Magdalene. When he stood up and said that those who have not committed any sin can stone her. So this is his power. The sin of the people just crushed them completely. They finished because the sin was there, and the sin was of left vision. There was no purity. And when there is no purity, a person who is so pure says such a thing. All these people lost their powers. They couldn't even stone. Now, this sister of his was born later on as Draupadi, and that too very near the place we have been to Vani, where we saw. Gavi, you remember when we were going to Nagpur? Near Vani, she was born, that place, and there's a very big temple of that. She was called as Draupadi, and you know how Sri Krishna tried to say